Oh my lord. Not you. Why is it so difficult for TV shows to get a finale right? That is 2 for 2 for terrible finales this year. This finale was the complete opposite of what I expected. With a few exceptions, the series has been going downhill since the goated first season. This fifth and final season just seemed disjointed throughout, like a collection of random ideas stitched together with a MacGuffin that has no payoff, and too many episodes were wasted on irrelevant plot lines. Prophet Muhammad's gag ball had a better payoff than the V1 and Soup Virus plot lines. Not to mention, the episode feels like it was filmed during COVID, with minimal special effects, confined sets, and a limited cast. It has the vibe of a low-budget, daytime soap opera episode marked by misplaced humor, illogical decision-making, and, worst of all, no scorched earth. I was shocked, but I was not awed. Right off the bat, Frenchie's funeral that opens the episode is a cringe fest. Huey reads Frenchie's last will and testament that literally goes on about everyone's butthole, including Butcher's. Yeah, nice way to dehumanize your heroes in the first few minutes. Not to mention that these don't even sound like Frenchie's words. The guy was a
sexual weirdo.
He wasn't a pervert. This letter should have been filled with motivational words of encouragement that inspire the boys to finish their mission. Yeah, I know that sounds cheesy and cliched, but it's better than talking about buttholes. Huey's eulogy during Butcher's funeral in the epilogue was better because it doesn't clown on either character. It's in line with Huey's awkwardness, and the only joke is about Butcher being in hell. And while we're talking about funerals, where in the hell is Terror's funeral? Bro gooned himself to death, and neither Butcher nor Huey had the decency to pick him up and place him on the bed, at least. We last see the Homelander Defiler. Homelander Filer? Laying dead on the floor like some kind of animal. The disrespect. The boys infiltrate the White House with previously acquired blueprints, and at first I'm wondering, where is all of the security? But it's a trap, so okay, I guess that makes sense. But it is the worst trap that I have ever seen. They're trapped in a confined space with no cover, and the shooters are shooting regular ammunition at 3 bulletproof soups. No anti-soup ammunition, no poison gas, no explosives, only an Ashley Ex Machina. And no follow-up either because the boys make it out of the trap and there are no more guards. Anywhere. Not even the ones who were just shooting at them, because I guess they function on GTA logic. Homelander kills Elon Musk, because of course they have to get one last dig in at the Trump administration. And MM gives Muhammad the Black Bolt treatment. So, I was right about the Deep's fate. Though partially. It was marginally satisfying, but it still missed the mark. First of all, Starlight baby, what is you doing, you opossum-looking hoe? She literally takes a fight with the Lord of the Sea to the sea, where he has every advantage. If he gets her in the water, which is about 30 yards away, that's it. She's done for. She's dead. D-E-D, dead. Why not take him as far away from the sea as possible? Maybe buy an electric substation from which she can draw as much energy as she could possibly need. Now, I know she no longer relies on electric energy, but why not stack the fight on your side as much as possible? Instead, she takes the Deep to where she knows that he will be the peak. And no, she had no idea that the sea life had turned against him. She's genuinely surprised. She didn't watch the video taken in episode 7 of him being fearful of open water, so it's not as though she formulated a strategy from it. And while I was correct that he would get face molested by tentacles, his death came too quickly. He didn't suffer enough. He didn't try to control sea life one last time, no peak speech, and he wasn't finished off by a shark. Alright, let's move on to the final fight. Or more accurately, the final
disappointment.
It's way too short. A 5 to 7 season, if you count Gen V, 7-year build-up for a 5-minute fight. All of these Scorched Earth promises, the mythical build-up of V1 Immortality upgrade, and Homelander's degenerative psychosis, just for Homelander to be nerfed. Bro looked the weakest he's ever been. And that's before he even knows about Kimiko's Soldier Boy power. Homelander should have beaten the boys at the White House and flown away only after Kimiko cranked that Soldier Boy. He should have retreated to Vought Tower, where he should have had an army of supes ready for the final confrontation. Now, by this point, there should be enough anti-supe and anti-Homelander sentiment amongst civilians and other supes to create a decent uprising against Vought. And this uprising could have been led by Annie's father, who could have convinced enough officers on the force to cease anti-Starlighter operations, as well as by the Gen V cast. This small change could have made both of these plot lines not complete, pointless wastes of time. Now, some of the Gen V characters are OP, so how would you even defeat someone like Marie? Well, you could give her the K treatment and laser her arms off, or you could give her the Scarlet Witch treatment and force her to remain on defense. Create so much havoc that Marie is forced to focus her powers as a medic, trying to keep casualties from bleeding out. Which is how superheroes should be using their powers anyway. With no trusted allies left, the entire city in chaos, and supes with the power to turn him into a regular powerless homo sapien, Homelander has nothing left to lose. A body pump full of V1 and endless vindictive rage. There was really no excuse for this fight to not have been an all-out chaotic war zone in which Homelander's psychotic fantasies finally become reality. With him and William going full scorched earth, as we have been promised since Season 1. As a matter of fact, this should have been Season 1 Homelander enhanced with V1, resulting in a high supe and civilian casualty count. Alas, the V1 seems to have only stopped his aging, no power-ups. So this was just a placebo. We wasted 5 episodes on a MacGuffin with no payoff. Instead, we got Sissylander.
Stop! Just tell me. I'll fucking suck your dick, please. I'll do anything.
Now, him begging for his life was hilarious and proper, but didn't feel earned. That's how bad the writing was. Instead of satisfaction, they only managed to make us sympathize with the psychotic, evil megalomaniac. Bro needed a social worker, not the soup police. And speaking of emotional support, what's gonna happen to Soldier Boy? Is he gonna remain frozen until the end of time? Are we gonna have to wait until the end of Vought Rising to find out what happens to him? Alright, here's 2 random points that I didn't know where to put. Huey names his unborn child Robin, after his ex-girlfriend who was run over by a train named A-Train. Now that's sweet and all, but it's still naming his unborn child that is incubating inside of his soon-to-be wife, who victim blamed him after he was sexually assaulted by a shapeshifter after an ex-girlfriend. Savage.
Fucking diabolical.
It's what Clara would have wanted. Also, what happened to that soup virus that put your planet in the sprinkler system? Is it still up there chilling, just waiting to unleash viral hell upon all soups on Earth at the first hint of smoke? Alright, that's enough negatives for now. I want to leave this video by pointing out a couple of positives. At least Billy closes his arc by being the one who kills the Homelander who don't kill his wife. Even though Kimiko gets a slice of that revenge pie for Frenchie, she doesn't flat out steal his kill, like some other shows. And at least Annie also closes her arc by being the one who condemns the peak to the abyss. RIP to the peak of human evolution. Anyway, these are just some initial thoughts. Clearly. Have to go, love you, bye!